Listen up, family. What's your name? Where you at right now? Maybe you're sitting in your car, scrolling through your phone, or lying in bed wondering why life feels so heavy. Let me tell you something real. This is where the heart-touching introduction begins, where the silent war starts. The battles you're fighting, the ones that keep you up at night, they ain't always loud. Some of the deepest scars you'll ever carry, the ones that cut your soul, come from wounds you never saw coming. They come from folks who smile in your face, cheer you on when you're winning, but turn cold when God starts elevating you. That's the silent war, and God's calling you to rise above it. He's whispering to your heart right now, saying, I made you for more than this pain. Trust me to carry you through. This ain't just a speech, it's a wake-up call. Stay with me, because we're about to dive deep into how you can shine your light, even when the world tries to dim it, with God's strength leading the way. Let me break it down for you, family. It's the people who hug you tight, who clap when you're on stage, who lean on you when they're down. These are the ones who can flip on you without warning. They'll start hating you, and you won't even get a word of why. It's a quiet war creeping into your heart, making you question what you did wrong. But hear me now with God's truth in my soul. Sometimes it ain't about what you did. It's about who you are, the light God put in you that makes their darkness feel too heavy to bear. The Lord says, you are my child, fearfully and wonderfully made. Those closest to you, they can hurt you the deepest. And that's the cost of walking in the purpose God gave you. It's the jealousy they hide, the competition they don't admit, the resentment they bury that can break even the tightest bonds. It's a betrayal you didn't ask for, a war you didn't see coming. But God's got you. He's telling you, don't try to fix what's already dead. Your job ain't to water plants that won't grow. It ain't yours to explain your God-given greatness to small minds. Your job is to keep your head up, your heart pure, and your soul steady in His love. So when the haters come, don't let their bitterness drown out the brilliance God put in you. You were born for a reason, and not everybody can handle the fire God's lit in your spirit. You ain't here to make everybody happy, you're here to shine for Him. Let them talk. Let them judge. Let them walk away. Because when it's all said and done, you're still standing, held up by God's grace. And that's what counts. What's your story, fam? You ever notice it in their eyes before they even say a word? That quick glance when you're not looking. That smile that's just a little too tight, showing the weight they're carrying in their heart. Jealousy grows in silence. Some people can't handle your shine, and that's where this war takes root. It's a silent killer, why all? It hides in the shadows, waiting for its moment to bite. And when it does, it ain't always loud, it ain't always words. Sometimes it's how they pull back, how they forget to call you, how their laughter dies when you step in the room. You start thinking you messed up somewhere. You'll replay their silence in your head, asking what you did to earn this quiet stab in the back. But let me hit you with God's truth. Some folks just can't handle the light God's shining through you. Your presence, your purpose reminds them of everything they wanted but never chased. And instead of letting your light push them to grow, they let it burn them up inside. God's saying, keep shining, my child. Their pain ain't your burden. The human heart, it's a battlefield, family. There's a war raging in some folks' souls, a war between who they are and who they wish they could be. Every time you walk in, you're carrying God's light. It's that spark He gave you, that gift that makes you stand tall when others bend. But that light puts a target on your back. When people see your shine, they're forced to face their own darkness. It's like a mirror they didn't ask for. And sometimes that reflection's too much for them. So instead of learning from you, instead of asking how you walk in faith, they choose resentment. It's easier to hate you quietly than to admit they feel small next to the greatness God's building in you. The Lord's whispering, don't dim your light for their comfort. I made you to reflect my glory. You might have spent your life being kind to everybody, thinking if you poured out enough love, you'd get it back. But jealousy don't care about your love. It feeds on insecurity. It whispers lies to folks who ain't strong enough to shut it down. It tells them you're too much, too bold, too blessed, too favored by God. It makes them think your shine is an attack on them, a reminder they ain't reached the dreams they had. So they go cold. They start pulling away, talking behind your back, questioning every move you make. They'll smile in your face, acting like it's all good, while praying for your downfall in their hearts. But God's got a word for you. My grace is sufficient. Their hate can't stop my plan for you. This silent war jealousy starts. It's dangerous because you don't see it till it's too late. You'll start doubting your worth, wondering what you did to deserve the coldness in their hug. But let me tell you, with God's healing in my voice, you didn't do nothing wrong. You just became more than they could handle. You stepped into the power God gave you, and that shook the lies they built their lives on. Some folks can't stand seeing you break the chains they're still wearing. Your freedom, your faith shows them they're still trapped, and instead of reaching for God's hand to get free, they turn on you. The Lord's saying, let them go. I'm your strength, your shield, your victory. Jealousy grows in the quiet family because it loves the dark. It's that tension you feel at the table, those quick looks that say more than words, the laughter that stops when you walk in. It's the friend who used to root for you but now dodges your calls. It's the family member who bragged about you but now picks apart everything you do. And the hardest part, you might still love them. You might still believe in them. Want to share your blessings with them, but their silence is a wall they built to hide from the truth. Your light going on, God's light in you scares them. He's calling you to keep loving, but from a distance, to protect the peace He's given you. In the middle of the night, you might be up replaying old talks, trying to figure out where it went wrong. You'll think back to the laughs, the secrets, the dreams you shared. But those memories turn into pain. Reminders that the ones who cheered you now resent you. They can't handle your shine, not because you're too bright, but because they've told themselves they can't shine like you. They forgot God's light is for everybody, that there's enough for all of us to walk in His glory. But jealousy tricks them into thinking your win is their loss, your joy is their pain. God's saying, my child, don't carry their burden. I've got enough light for you to keep moving forward. You might try to dim your light to make them feel better. You'll catch yourself playing small, brushing off your wins, doubting every step. You'll think if you shrink a little, they'll love you again. But that's a trap, family. When you start shrinking for their comfort, you lose the you God created. Your purpose ain't meant to fit their small vision. You weren't born to make them okay with their choices. You were born to shine for Him. If your light shows their darkness, that ain't your load to carry. The Lord's calling, stand tall. I made you to rise, not to hide. This war jealousy wages is sneaky but strong. It's the friend who stops inviting you out, the coworker who undermines you, the kin who questions your every blessing. They won't say they're jealous. They won't admit your light makes their darkness too real. They'll make excuses, act busy, or say you've changed. But deep down, it ain't changing, it's you growing. You've become more than they expected, and they don't know how to deal. So keep moving, keep shining. Every time you rise, you show them what they could be if they let go of the jealousy holding them back. God's saying, keep going. I'm with you every step. It ain't your job to fight their fights or heal their wounds they won't face. Your job is to be who God made you to be. To shine so bright even the darkest hearts see His light. Jealousy grows in silence, but God's truth always breaks through. In a world where folks are scared to embrace their own light, you're a threat just by being you. You show them excuses are just excuses. You're proof it's possible to rise, to heal, to overcome with God's help. Some can't handle that. They'd rather stay in the dark thinking it's safer. They'd rather hold on to bitterness than stand in God's sun. But don't let that stop you. Don't let their silence kill your spirit. Jealousy's their battle, not yours. It's their war against themselves, using you as a scapegoat because facing their demons is too hard. They'd rather point at you than look in the mirror. They'd rather hate you quietly than love themselves enough to grow. But that ain't on you. You're here to walk your path, to shine God's light, to show it's possible to rise above the dark. The Lord's saying, I've called you to be a beacon, not a fixer. Let's be real, some folks will never cheer for you, no matter how kind you are. They'll never celebrate your wins, no matter how much you held them down. They'll always find a reason to hate your shine even when you've done nothing but lift them up. And that's all right. Because you didn't come this far to be loved by everybody. You didn't grind this hard to hide your light under their shadows. You came to live God's purpose for you, to be a light in a world that needs it now more than ever. So let them talk, let them watch, let them build their silent wars in their hearts. Jealousy grows in silence, but your strength grows in God's fire. Every time they try to dim you, you shine brighter. Every time they pull back their love, you love yourself more through Him. Every time they try to knock you down, you rise higher in His name. This silent war ain't against them, it's a test of your faith, your grit, your commitment to the you God created. That's why you keep shining, keep showing up, keep dreaming. Even when they don't clap, even when they laugh. Your light ain't just for you, it's for those lost in the dark. Those who see you and know they can break free too. You're God's reminder that even with jealousy all around, you can still rise, still be everything He made you to be. Now, let me tell you something about growth. Family, people change when they realize you won't stay small for them. Some folks will cheer as long as you stay in the box they built for you. They'll clap and smile, saying they're proud until you grow beyond their limits. It's weird, this invisible line they want you to respect. They're cool with your dreams, but only if they don't challenge their comfort. They're fine with your progress, but only if it don't remind them of what they left undone. It ain't that they never loved you, they loved the you that made them feel bigger. The one that didn't shake their comfort zone. But when you step out that box, when you show you ain't staying small for them, they change. Their eyes get narrow. Their words get sharp, full of questions to make you doubt. You'll feel it in how they look at you like you're a stranger now. They'll hit you with, why you doing that? Who you think you are? Their tone's full of doubt, but underneath is fear that your growth makes them see their own standstill. Every time you level up, you're holding a mirror to their excuses. Every time you break free, you show them their chains, and some can't handle that. They'd rather pull you back than rise with you. They'd rather you stay small so they stay comfy. But your spirit ain't built for smallness. God made you to grow, to stretch, to become all He planned. He's saying, don't let their fear clip your wings. I've got bigger plans for you. There's a deep pain watching someone you love change because you chose to love yourself enough to rise. You look around, and the folks who held your hand are now holding you back. You replay the laughs, the late night talks that felt forever, and wonder how it went wrong. But it didn't go wrong, it went real. Growth shows what comfort hides. When you were small, they could handle their insecurities by leaning on you. But now you're growing and they can't control how your light makes them feel. Instead of growing with you, they resent you for what they used to admire. That's the quiet heartbreak of success, knowing some love the old you because it made them feel bigger. You'll try to figure it out, look in the mirror. Question your choices. Did I move too fast? Did I leave them behind? You'll shrink, hoping they'll love you again, hoping they'll see the old you. But shrinking don't bring nobody back, it breaks your spirit. Here's God's truth. The ones who love you for real want you to grow. They want you to step into your power, even if you outgrow their space. Those who resent your growth weren't rooting for you. They were rooting for the you that kept them comfy. That ain't your load to carry. Your purpose is bigger than their comfort. The Lord's saying, I've called you to soar, not to settle. Sometimes you'll look in the eyes of folks you trusted and see a stranger. Their smiles feel fake. Their words feel empty. No matter how hard you try, you can't find the bond you had. That's because your growth changed the game. You refuse to stay small. You refuse to let their fears chain you. And they can't deal. They'd rather rewrite your story, call you selfish or cocky, than face the truth. You chose to honor the potential God put in you. But that's the price of becoming who He made you to be. Not everybody can roll with you. Not everybody will cheer your rise, and that's cool. God's got the right ones waiting for you. You'll meet folks who swear their love's unconditional till your growth makes them face their own choices. When you decide you ain't settling, their love feels like it's got strings. They'll say you changed like it's a sin. They'll ask, what happened to you? Like getting stronger, wiser, bolder is a betrayal. But don't let their fear lock you up. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to leave behind the you that was comfy for them, but heavy for your soul. You're allowed to listen to God's voice saying, there's more for you. If they can't handle it, let them watch from afar. You'll see their energy shift when you don't fit their mold. They'll call less, invite you to less, pull away slow at first, then all at once. You'll wonder why. But it's simple. They never expected you to grow. They never thought you'd choose yourself. They liked you small because small was safe. Small let them predict you, control you, keep you where they needed you. But now you're bigger than their expectations and they feel exposed. Your growth is a mirror they can't dodge. It shows where they settled. And that's too much for some. God's saying, keep moving. I've got a path for you. And it's not their road. And here's where it gets real. Family, people change when they realize you won't stay small for them, and that change can cut deep. It's a hard truth. Folks change when they see you won't stay small for them. It ain't that you got arrogant or mean, it's that you honored God's call to be more. That voice in you wouldn't let you play it safe, wouldn't let you hide behind fear or act less than you are. And that shook the balance they loved. They liked the old you, the one who said yes, who didn't rock the boat, who didn't make them feel they had to step up. But that ain't you no more. And you don't owe nobody an apology for that. Your growth shows where they gave up on themselves. It reminds them of dreams they buried, risks they didn't take, excuses they made to stay small. That ain't easy for anybody to face. So instead of facing it, they turn on you. They'll nitpick your every move, question your heart, your loyalty, your character. They'll make you the bad guy in a story you didn't write. But that's their path, not yours. You can't fight their battles or shrink to ease their pain. All you can do is keep growing, keep shining, keep being true to who God's making you. He's saying, I've got you. Your growth is my plan. The toughest part is seeing the ones who loved you most turn away first. They'll swear they had your back, that they wanted you to win. But when your light burns brighter, their true colors show. It ain't that they stopped loving you, they loved you small. Now you've grown, you don't fit their box. You're too big for their comfort, too bold for their excuses, too brave for their fear. That's a truth they ain't ready for. So they change, pull back, become strangers in places you called home. You gotta let them go. God's clearing your path for those who can handle your shine. This growth path, it's lonely sometimes. You'll stand at a crossroads, asking if truth and being true to God's call is worth the silence, the judgment, the cold stares from folks you trusted with your heart. But deep down, you know it is. You didn't come this far to stay small. You didn't fight your battles, climb your mountains, heal your wounds, shrink back because someone's scared of your shine. You came to be all God made you. If that means losing folks who can't handle your light, that's the price of greatness. The Lord's saying, I'm with you. Your light is my light. You'll meet people who celebrate you every season. They'll clap when you rise, hold you when you fall. They'll remind you your growth, don't dim their light, it adds to it. They'll see your shine as an invitation to shine too. Those are the ones you keep close. They love you for who you're becoming, not who you were. They won't ask you to stay small. They'll grow with you. God's saying, I've got your tribe waiting. Keep walking. Now let's talk about something that hits different. The loudest applause can hide the deepest envy. It's easy to get caught up in the claps, the handshakes, thinking everybody's for you. But some clap for a different reason. They're scared to let their silence show the truth in their heart. That truth is envy, envy that asks, why not me? Envy that wonders why God lifted you while they're stuck. They clap to hide the bitterness inside, clap so loud it covers their pain. But that pain don't go away. It's in every fake smile, every half-hearted congrats. every hug that feels like a cage. The Lord saying, look beyond the noise. I'll show you who's real. Not all applause comes from love. Some comes from resentment that you dared to rise while they stayed put. Success is a mirror, showing them every dream they dropped, every chance they skipped, every fear they let win. When you hit that stage, they see themselves in you, and it stings. So they clap, but not for you, for the part of them that wishes there were you. Their envy's quiet but strong. The louder they clap, the deeper it runs, hiding behind polite smiles and words. You'll feel it if you pay attention. Their eyes shift when you talk about your wins. Their voice shakes when they say, I'm proud, but their smile don't reach their eyes. They'll ask questions that sound like support but are tests. You sure you're ready? What if it fails? They dress envy as concern, but it's got a smell you can't miss. It's in the pause when they say your name, the way they switch topics when you shine too bright. It's in those backhanded compliments that taste bitter in your soul. God's saying, don't let their claps chain you. Your worth is in me. That loud applause, it can be a heavy chain. When you start needing it to feel good, you give them power over your path. You chase approval instead of God's purpose. You need their claps to feel you belong. But those hands clapping today might point at you tomorrow. Those mouths praising you might turn on you when your shine threatens their comfort. You got to separate the noise from God's truth. Applause is sweet, but it can lull you to sleep in the arms of folks who want you to fail. Look past the smiles and cheers. Ask who they clapping for. The real you, or the you that don't challenge their insecurities. When you break free from their expectations, when you step into God's greatness for you, that's when the claps fade. That's when their hands go still. Their eyes turn cold. Because your success forces them to face their choices. And not everybody's ready for that. The Lord's saying, my approval is all you need. Keep your eyes on me. Some people can't handle seeing their limits in your shine. Don't let their noise mess with your head. The world's full of folks who'll clap your lips but laugh at your dreams. They'll smile and sharpen their knives while you're not looking. The louder they clap, the more you gotta watch your back. Some people clap to keep you close enough to clip your wings. Some cheer to study your weaknesses. They act like they're in your corner, but their heart's elsewhere. And if you ain't careful, you'll open your door to them, not knowing they're bringing envy into your house. God's saying, trust my spirit to guide you. I'll show you who's true. Trust your gut. You'll feel when applause is real and when it ain't. You'll sense it in the hesitation of their hug, the shift in their tone when you talk about your next move. The real ones don't just clap, they show up when the stage is empty, when the lights are off. They celebrate your growth, even if it means you outgrow them. They don't make you feel small for dreaming big. They don't hide envy behind claps. They cheer from their heart because your win feels like theirs too. It takes wisdom to know which applause lifts you and which traps you. It takes strength to say thank you without letting it define you. Applause comes and goes. The crowd cheering today might ghost you tomorrow. The mouth shouting your name might go silent. The spotlight moves. If you build your life on applause, you'll fall when it stops. But if you build on God's purpose, His passion, His belief in you, no envy can touch you. Those clapping hands can't shake your faith when it's rooted in Him. The Lord's saying, your foundation is in me. Nothing can move you. Every time you win, know the applause reflects the crowd, not your soul. Some will cheer because they love you. Some because they fear you're too big. Some will clap because they envy what you stand for. But none of that changes your path. Let them clap, let them watch, let them wonder. Your journey's bigger than their noise. Your purpose is stronger than their envy. Your dreams aren't tied to their hands, but to the fire God put in you to keep going. No matter who's watching, He's saying, I've got a plan for you, and it's unstoppable. Here's a truth you got to hold tight. Family, not everyone is happy about your growth. Some feel threatened. Some people see your progress and feel threatened, not inspired. They'll smile at your success, but inside they're raging because your rise shows them where they're stuck. Your growth's a mirror for those who stayed put, reflecting every missed chance, every dream they let die, every time they chose comfort over courage. That reflection's too much for some, so they don't clap, don't cheer. They pull back into bitterness, hoping your light dims so they feel safe. You'll see it in their eyes if you look close, that flicker of doubt, that tight smile that don't reach their heart. They'll say you're moving fast, but it stings like you're leaving them behind. They'll plant seeds to doubt your heart, your ways, your worth, because they can't stand you rising above where they settled. They'd rather you shrink so they feel taller. God's saying, don't dim for them. I made you to stand out. That's the silent war you don't see coming, fought by those too scared to grow. Their reaction ain't about your value, it's their insecurities talking. Your growth shakes their foundation, makes them question why they didn't risk, why they didn't push past fear. That's a tough pill for some. Instead of facing their choices, they'll sabotage yours. They'll criticize, sounding like they care, giving advice you didn't ask for, saying, slow down, be careful. But that's just fear, dressed up fear that you're becoming what they can't face. And the Lord's saying, their fear ain't your limit. My plans for you are bigger. Some will pull away, and that's okay. They might ghost you when you share your wins, get too busy to link up. It ain't always your fault. Your growth reminds them of where they won't go. They feel exposed by your courage, like your light's too bright on their shadows. It's easier for them to step back than step up. Respect that distance, even if it hurts. Their journey's theirs, and your job's to keep walking yours with God's purpose. Others will try sneaky sabotage, talking behind your back, spreading half-truths. They'll say you've changed, like you're too good now. They'll twist your progress to make themselves feel better. And sometimes they'll do it with a smile, acting like they're still for you. That's when you stand strong. If you let their fear define you, you'll shrink to fit their comfort zone. And that ain't why you started. You didn't grow to make them feel safe, you grew to live God's purpose. He's saying, stay strong. I'm your rock. Truth is, growth ain't a team sport. It's a solo climb, one step at a time. Some can't handle the height, and that ain't on you. You can love them, but you can't carry them. You can inspire, but you can't do their work. You can invite them, but you can't force them to rise. Growth's a choice, and not everybody's ready. Some would rather hate you for moving on than stay small themselves. Let them. Your job ain't to dim in light, given light for their comfort, it's to shine so bright their darkness can't hide from God's truth. He's saying, keep climbing, I'm your guide. Growth shakes everybody up, not just you. It changes the vibe, shifts the ground they stand on. If they won't shift with you, they'll try to hold you back. They'll remind you of the old you, hoping you'll slide back. They'll bring up your past mistakes, failures, fears to make you think you're not as far as you are. But the past can't hold you unless you let it. Their words can't define you unless you buy in. Their fear can't stop you unless you quit growing. Keep walking, even when it's lonely, even when those you thought would cheer turn away, even when their silence screams louder than words. Your growth's your responsibility, the only way to reach the you God planned. He's saying, I've got a future for you. Don't look back. The ones who can handle your growth, they'll celebrate you. They'll cheer because your wind don't threaten theirs. They'll see your light and let it spark their own. Those are the ones you keep close, the ones you trust. The rest, let them watch, let them talk, let them deal with their shadows while you shine. The road to growth is full of broken ties and quiet goodbyes. It's the price of evolving. But the ones who love you for real will rise with you, face their fears, grow beside you. They'll push you to be better, not bitter. They'll lift you up instead of pulling you down. That's the beauty of growth. It shows who's really in your corner. God's saying, I've got your people. Keep them close. And let's get to the heart of it. Family, some people only loved you when you needed them. Now they hate you because you've learned to stand on your own. Don't fear when folks change around you. Don't shrink to fit their fear. Don't apologize for living fully. Because your growth ain't a threat, it's a gift. A light in the dark. A reminder you were never meant to stay small. Some people only loved you when you needed them. It's tough to swallow. But when you stand on your own, you see their true colors. They liked the you that leaned on them, that needed their advice, their help. They're okay. They thrived on your weakness because it made them feel needed, big, even better. They loved being your hero. But when you found your strength, when you started walking alone, their colors showed themselves. You became a threat, not a friend. You showed them they didn't want you to grow just to stay where they could control you. The Lord's saying, you don't need their chains. I've set you free. Folks like that don't want you to thrive. They love the small you, the one that didn't challenge them, that stayed stuck, leaning on them for comfort. They like being the one you ran to when life got heavy. But now you've grown, making moves they never saw coming. You're speaking with faith they didn't expect. That makes them uneasy because your strength shows their weaknesses. Your freedom reminds them of their chains. And that's a mirror they don't want to face. So they resent you. It starts small, a sarcastic jab, a shady joke. You think it's nothing, just talk. But under it lies bitterness that grows every time you win without them. Every time you handle life on your own, every time you show you don't need their nod, proves their love wasn't unconditional. It had strings you had to need them. When you cut that string, you cut their ego, and now they're left facing their limits. It's painful because you thought their love was real. You thought they wanted the best for you, that they had your back. But they only loved you when your light didn't blind them, when your wings didn't fly too high. They loved you small to fit their box. Now you've outgrown it. They don't know what to do, so they pull away or try to pull you back. They'll remind you of when they held you down, how much they did when you were low. It's their way to guilt you into shrinking, to tie you to a past that don't fit. But don't let guilt trap you. When you let their resentment steer you, you start shrinking. And you didn't come this far to play small. You didn't fight to be nobody's puppet. You worked too hard, fought too much, cried too many tears to let their bitterness steal your life. God's saying, you're mine. Your story's not theirs to write. Their hate ain't about you, it's them. It's their fear of growing, their inability to stand tall without someone leaning on them. They resent your strength because it shows their weakness. They hate your freedom because it reminds them of their chains. Keep standing, even when it's lonely, even when those you thought would stay turn away, even when their words cut deep. Your strength ain't up for debate. It's the reward for every night you cried, every doubt you pushed through, every lesson you learned the hard way, every time you got up from the dirt. Nobody can take that, not even those who call themselves friends. The Lord's saying, your strength is my gift. Hold it tight. Tight. Trust yourself to know standing alone don't mean you're lonely. It means you've built a foundation strong enough to hold you. With God as your rock, you found the power He always put in you, the power they didn't want you to find. It hurts when those you leaned on turn away. But that's gross price, shedding old skin, old habits, old ties that don't serve you. It's God clearing your path, making room for those who can handle the new you. The real ones don't need you to need them. They love you weak or strong, up or down, winning or learning. They cheer your growth because it sparks theirs. They stand with you because your strength's a blessing, not a threat. Those are the ones you keep, the ones who run the race with you, who know love ain't control but freedom, who see your independence as a reflection of the faith they poured into you. God's saying, I've got your circle. Trust Maine to bring them. Let those who only loved you when you were broken walk away. Let those who can't handle your strength show themselves. Every time they step back, they make room for those who will step up. Every time they criticize your growth, they teach you to trust your voice. Every time they guilt you into shrinking, they remind you why you had to grow. That's a gift, a reminder. Journey's yours, and nobody gets to say how far you go or how bright you shine. You earned your strength, your independence. Nobody can make you feel small for claiming what's yours. Let them hate, let them talk, let them watch while you keep moving. The ones who matter, who love you for real, won't be threatened by your strength. They'll stand with you, no matter how tall you grow. God's saying, I've got you covered. Keep rising. Now let's talk about what happens when you start climbing higher, family. The moment you level up, expect silent warfare from those who wish you'd stay beneath them. When you level up, the air changes. It's subtle at first, shifts in tone, whispers behind you, cold shoulders where warm hugs used to be. You might not catch it till it's too late. This battle's silent, not loud arguments or raised fists. It's dangerous because it hides under fake smiles and weak congrats. Those who want you beneath them don't fight fair. They sabotage quietly, undermine, sneaky, attack invisible. They want you to think it's in your head, but it's real. It's silent warfare, and you got to be ready every time God elevates you. He's saying, I've armed you with my spirit. Stay sharp. Leveling up means you ain't playing by old rules that kept you small. You're in a new game with higher stakes and tougher players. Some want you beneath them not because they hate you, but because your rise threatens their control. When you were down, they felt big. When you struggled, they felt better. But now you're standing tall, making moves, claiming your space in God's plan. That scares them. It shakes the balance they loved. So instead of cheering, they fight you quietly, trying to pull you back to where they want you. The Lord's saying, don't go back. I've called you forward. Silent warfare don't look like war, it looks like life. It's missed invites, posts that leave you out, support that vanishes when you need it. It's talks that go cold, friendships that fade with no reason. These are their weapons, distance and silence, shields and swords. They don't want to fight. They want your energy drained, your confidence shook, your spirit weak. And they do it acting like your friend. They smile, but their eyes say something else. They nod, but their heart wishes you'd stop climbing. God's saying, see through their game. I've given you discernment. This warfare is their desperate grab for power, to keep their spot on the ladder, their comfort zone. Their identity built on holding others down. They can't match your growth, so they try to slow you with quiet tricks. They don't know their war's just fuel for your fire. Their silent attacks show you're doing what God called you to do. Rise above the noise, stand in His truth, and be your best self. The Lord's saying, their war can't stop my plan. Keep shining. This silent war's isolating when folks pull away. It's easy to doubt yourself, wonder if you're tripping, if you're pushing too hard. The silence feels like a cave of fear and doubt. But it's a test of your strength, your clarity, your trust in yourself and God when the world turns its back. Lean into His strength. Remind yourself why you started leveling up. The real fight ain't out there, it's in you. It's battling voices telling you to quit, to shrink, to settle. It's holding your vision when silent enemies try to drown it. Win that fight daily. Show up for yourself when nobody else does. Keep stepping even when the path's lonely. The only way to shut down silent warfare is to refuse to be silenced. God's saying, I've got your voice. Use it. The more you level up, the louder your silence gets. The distance grows, the coldness thickens, the digs get bolder. They won't face you straight up, they know they'd lose. So they fight in shadows, hoping you won't see. But you will. You gotta. Because seeing it takes their power away. You stop letting it shake you. You build walls no whisper can break, armor no cold shoulder can dent. God's saying, I'm your fortress. Stand in me. When you level up your protection too, not just physical or money, but your heart and mind. Surround yourself with folks who lift you, who celebrate your rise, who are secure enough to cheer your growth. Distance those who want you beneath them, no matter how close they were. Growth's evolution, and not everybody evolves with you. Some resent you for changing their comfort, for rewriting the rules. That's all right. Their reaction don't define your worth, it shows their limits. The Lord's saying, I've made you limitless. Keep growing. Silent warfare can't stop a soul set on rising. It can slow you, sting you, bruise your confidence, but it can't stop you unless you let it. When you see their quiet attacks for what they are, you strip their power. You become untouchable in God's purpose. You start attracting people and chances that match your new level. You become a proof that growth is possible, unstoppable. God's saying, I've got your back. You can't be held down. Leveling up means rewriting your story, breaking free from old patterns, old expectations, old folks who don't fit your vision. That's why silent warfare starts. It's a reaction to change, not failure. It's God clearing space for your next chapter. Keep moving, keep shining, keep believing in your worth, and that will fade into the noise of your success. He's saying your story's mine to write. Trust me. Here's a lesson you gotta learn. Family, never beg to be understood. Sometimes your spirit irritates their demons. Don't beg to be understood. It's a tough lesson, especially when your spirit shines too bright for some to bear. You want to be seen, heard, known for you. But some people's demons get stirred by your light, your realness, your courage. Your refusal to dim yourself irritates their demons in ways you can't always explain. It's not about you, it's about what they carry inside, their fears, their insecurities, their wounds that fester. They all react violently to your truth. So never waste your energy begging for their understanding from souls who aren't ready to see you. Your peace depends on knowing that sometimes the resistance you face is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their battle with their own darkness. God's saying, I see you. That's enough. When you try to explain yourself to those who reject your spirit, you're only feeding their demons with more fuel to attack you. You're giving them ammunition to question your motives, your intentions, your very existence. They hear your words, but they don't listen. Their minds are clouded by judgment, envy, or fear. They want you to fit into the boxes they've created, to stay quiet, to be less. But your spirit is too wild, too free, too alive to be tamed by their discomfort. So the more you try to justify who are, the more you awaken the parts of them that want to push back, to criticize, to tear you down. Sometimes the only way to protect your light is to stop explaining and start standing firm in your truth. The Lord's saying your truth doesn't need their approval. Live it boldly. The irony is that the people who get irritated when you're your truest self often wish they had your strength. They may never admit it, but your spirit reminds them of the freedom they've denied themselves. Your courage to be unapologetically you highlights their chains, and that irritates their demons because it threatens the lies they tell themselves to stay safe. They say you're too much, too loud, too different. But what they really fear is that you represent what they could never be, free, whole, and unshaken by their own shadows. Your spirit is a mirror they're not ready to face, so they lash out. But that's their pain, not yours. So never beg for understanding where there is none. It's like trying to pour water into a cracked cup. The effort only spills out and leaves you empty. Some people aren't designed to walk your path or hold your light. And that's okay. Your job is not to fix them, convince them, or soften your edges for their comfort. Your job is to live your truth boldly, fiercely, without apology. Because when you stop begging for their understanding, you reclaim your power. You say loud and clear that your spirit will not be dimmed to suit anyone's demons. You become a force of nature that either inspires or unsettles, but always moves forward. God's saying, I made you a force, be it. Your spirit's a gift, not a burden. It's what makes you unique, resilient, and alive. When you try to make others understand it, you're asking them to carry a weight they're not willing to bear. And that's not your responsibility. Instead, focus on nurturing your spirit, protecting it, and surrounding it with people who celebrate it. Those who truly see you will not ask for explanations. They will simply embrace you, demons and all, because they understand that your light is a beacon, not a threat. Your spirit is a sanctuary, not a puzzle to be solved. The Lord's saying, I gave you that spirit. Cherish it. When your spirit irritates their demons, it's a sign you're doing something right. It means you're breaking old cycles, rewriting narratives, and refusing to live in the shadows of others' fears. It means your presence challenges the status quo, shakes up old power dynamics, and demands respect simply by existing. That kind of energy can be uncomfortable for some, but it's exactly what the world needs more of. The people who resist you aren't enemies, they're guardians of their own limitations. And you don't have to convince guardians to open the gates, you only need to keep walking through them yourself. God's saying, I've opened the way. Keep going. There will be times when you feel isolated because your spirit doesn't fit the mold. When the silence from those who once claimed to care becomes deafening. When the questions and doubts flood your mind. Why can't they understand me? Why do I have to fight to be seen? But remember, the deepest understanding comes from within. When you learn to honor your spirit first, you become untouchable by external judgments. You stop seeking validation outside and start finding it inside. They're God's love. You realize you don't need everyone's approval to live your truth. Your spirit is your compass, and its guidance, powered by God, is enough. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the way your spirit moves through this world. Your energy, your light, your truth, they are not negotiable. The Lord's saying, I'm your guide. Follow me. Me. When you stop begging to be understood, you open space for authentic connections, people who don't just tolerate your spirit but celebrate it. These are the relationships that nourish your soul and fuel your growth. And these relationships are worth more than 1,000 superficial connections that drain your energy. Protect your spirit by choosing to be around those who see you, not those who try to reshape you. God's saying, I've got your people. Trust me to bring them. Now let's get to one of the most important truths you'll ever learn. Family, protect your peace. Real friends clap for you even when you're not in the room. It's one of the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn, because peace is fragile, and the world's loud with opinions, judgments, and distractions. Peace ain't just about quiet moments or calm surroundings. It's a state of mind, a place where your soul feels safe, respected, and uplifted. And protecting that peace means being vigilant about who you let into your circle. Real friends, those rare souls, are the ones who clap for you even when you're not in the room. They celebrate your wins in silence. They speak your name with pride when you're absent, and they cheer your growth without needing to be invited. These are the people who guard your peace as fiercely as you do, because peace isn't just personal, it's relational. It lives and breathes in the connections you build and the energy you exchange. God's saying, I've given you peace. Hold it tight. It's easy to confuse noise with support. Some people applaud loudly when you're present, but whisper doubts behind your back. They smile when you're in front of them, but hope you fail when you turn away. Protecting your peace means learning to read beyond the applause, to sense the energy beyond the words. Real friends don't need the spotlight to validate their loyalty. Their support doesn't depend on your presence. They don't see your absence as an opportunity to gossip or undermine. They lift you up even when no one is watching, because their allegiance is rooted in respect, love, and genuine care. This kind of friendship is a sanctuary in the chaos of life. The Lord's saying, I've got your real ones. Trust them. When you start protecting your peace, you'll notice the difference between those who genuinely care and those who are just around for convenience. Real friends don't make your success about them. They don't get jealous or competitive. Instead, they rejoice, because your growth doesn't threaten their worth, it expands the circle of what's possible for everyone. They understand that your wins don't take away from theirs. Celebrating you doesn't diminish themselves. That kind of friendship is built on abundance, not scarcity. It's a rare and precious gift, one that you must cherish and protect fiercely. God's saying, I've blessed you with true bonds. Keep them strong. Protecting your peace also means setting boundaries with those who don't clap for you when you're not in the room. It means distancing yourself from toxic voices that drain your energy, spread negativity, or sow doubt. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't to face the enemy head-on, it's to turn away from those who pretend to be friends but sabotage your peace in subtle ways. These are the people who don't celebrate your victories, who question your motives, who make you second-guess your worth. Protecting your peace means recognizing when a relationship is no longer safe for your spirit and having the courage to let it go. The Lord's saying, I've given you strength to choose peace. Use it. Real friends are the keepers of your peace, because they understand that peace is more valuable than drama or competition. They show up not only for your triumphs, but also for your struggles. They don't vanish when things get hard. They stand by your side, cheering you on with quiet strength. They don't need you to prove yourself. They believe in you before you even say a word. That kind of loyalty is rare. It's the kind that sustains you when the world feels like it's against you. It's the kind that reminds you that you are never truly alone, even in your darkest moments. God's saying, I've placed these souls in your life, treasure them. Sometimes protecting your peace means being selective about what you share and with whom. Not everyone needs to know your every thought, your every plan, or your every fear. Real friends respect your privacy and hold your truths with care. They don't use your vulnerabilities against you or share your stories with the wrong ears. Protecting your peace means guarding your heart and your mind like a fortress, allowing only those who have earned your trust to enter. It's about choosing quality over quantity in relationships and surrounding yourself with people who add to your peace rather than subtract from it. The Lord's saying, I've given you a heart worth protecting. Guard it well. When your circle is filled with real friends who clap for you when you're not in the room, your peace grows stronger. You start to feel safer, lighter, more confident. You stop doubting your worth and begin to embrace your purpose with boldness because you know you have a tribe that's rooting for you unconditionally. They don't compete with your shine, they celebrate it. They don't fear your growth, they welcome it. And that energy, pure, supportive, unwavering, is the foundation of a peaceful life. God's saying, I've given you a foundation. Build on it. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. It's the armor that keeps your spirit unbroken in a world that can be harsh and unforgiving. Real friends are the allies who help you build that armor. They are the ones who clap for you even when you're not there to hear it, because their loyalty runs deep. And when you protect your peace by choosing those friends wisely, you create a life where your spirit can thrive, your dreams can grow, and your heart can rest easy. The Lord's saying, I've given you peace. Make it your home. When you learn to protect your peace, to surround yourself with those who celebrate you quietly and sincerely, you unlock a power deeper than any applause or recognition, a power no storm can shake. Your spirit deserves a sanctuary. Your heart deserves loyalty. And your life deserves the kind of love that lifts you when you ain't looking. Hold that truth tight, it'll carry you through every fight, every doubt, every shadow trying to dim your light. You're worthy of peace, of real friendship, of a life where your soul breaths free. So stand tall, guard your peace, and keep moving with courage and faith. You ain't alone. The right ones, those clapping when you ain't there, are walking with you in spirit and truth. Keep your heart open to them, your spirit unbreakable. And now, family, let's wrap this up with some closing thoughts and encouragement. What's your name? What's holding you back today? Maybe it's a friend who turned cold, a dream you're scared to chase, or a wound that won't heal. Whatever it is, God's calling you to rise above. He's saying, I've got a purpose for you, and no silent war can stop it. Your journey's just starting, and I need you to keep showing up. Don't let envy, doubt, or fear steal your shine. You're built for greatness, held by God's love, and destined to leave a mark. So hit that like button, drop a 77 in the comments to claim your victory, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Tell me your story. What's God doing in your life? How you rising above the silent wars? Let's build this family of faith together, lifting each other, shining brighter every day. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. God's got more for you, and I'm here to walk it with you. Keep the faith, keep the fight, and keep your light blazing. You got this, and God's got you.